I believe we are live. I'll post the link in a second. I'll post the link now. Get in. I think they fill up relatively quickly. We only have 11 people in here right now, though, so hold on, make sure I did this right. Yeah, private draft. Only 11 people in here right now, though, so you got a really good chance of getting into this one. I will post it first in the chat, then on Twitter. You guys get it first. There you go. Twitter. Posting it there. How you guys doing? Not a ton of news, really. Camps are kind of just starting up. Not too much to go over in the news department, but if you guys have any questions, players you want between, I can pull up the rankings on my other screen if you guys want to ask like either ors on any players before we start off. But any question will do. Same thing also. Let me know if we're hearing all right. Last time, I got conflicting reports because last time I was told that it was, is this a mock? No, it's a real thing. This is a real draft. I mean, you can treat it as a mock. You can do whatever you want, but I think it's like $3 or something like that. I don't even know what I put. Hopefully it wasn't a lot. Real draft, but best ball. So a little bit different than like a redraft league. You're looking at more wide receivers, fewer running backs, but the players, same players, same type of analysis going on there. John Jacobs, what is up, my guy? Longtime listener there. No, it's live. Yeah, live $3 best ball. Maybe we'll do some higher buy-in ones later in the season. I just feel like $3. We can get more people to do that. Oh, also I posted rankings. I don't know, 30 minutes ago. Honestly, I think like 3 different times today I've updated the rankings, but the last push for today was about 30 minutes ago. I don't even remember. I think I took Judy down a little bit. I gave some of that work to Tim Patrick. I took actually a little bit of work from Albert O away. So Tim Patrick, I think, moved up to a small amount. Sutton may have moved up to a small amount, but Judy down, Albert O down, and very small, very, very small decreases there. I honestly don't think I can scroll through. This is Underdog, obviously not like, a regular format, these rankings here. I don't think there were any like huge updates. I think Javonte Williams teensy bit down. I think I moved him a little bit down, but I'm not even sure he moved down like in the overall rankings. Just the projection on him, I dropped a little bit. I don't really know. Nothing else. I don't think anything else is like overly different. I think I might be boosting Mooney a little bit. I haven't done the Bears in a little while. I haven't like run through their projection, but the next projection I do on the Bears, I think I'm going to move him, and then however you say Vulos, I don't know how to say his name. Jones Jr., their rookie. I think both those guys are going to see a tiny bump. But it's also tough because I like Cole Kmet, I like Montgomery, so maybe I'm going to revisit their rankings. I think I'm going to boost Fields. I think I'm just going to make Fields a little bit better. Where do I have him? I have him. I mean, this range feels kind of correct behind like Tua, Carr, Goff, but it's possible he overtakes Goff. I don't know that he would overtake Carr. But we'll see. We'll see what the projections do. Okay. First round, after my pick, I'll bring up the draft board, but I want to keep it up here just so we can make our pick. Jonathan Taylor, Kupp, McCaffrey, Jefferson, Chase, Eckler. Everything's normal. So we'll look at Hunter Henry. Probably look at Hunter Henry. So then we're looking at like Dalvin Cook, Swift, Mixon. We're probably going to end up with one of those running backs. Someone asked in the last video why Dalvin Cook wasn't ahead of Mixon. I'm telling you, when I keep doing these rankings, I'll pull up half PPR over here, and we'll just say what the projection is for that, even though it's a little different. See if that'll load before we make our pick. I don't want to screw up our pick. Projection differences for these guys is 1 total point between Dalvin Cook, DeAndre Swift, and Joe Mixon, all within a point of each other. So you're going to see them flopping around. You're going to see all the different combinations. Every time I push the rankings, they'll be different. I honestly think we need to do a Thursday breakdown of those 3 players. Maybe I'll do that next week because I have no idea. I have no idea how to rank those guys. I love all of them, and I really think it's just get one of them in like the late first round. If you happen to get the last one, cool. You got a really good value, but I I don't know how to rank them. I really don't. So if you guys have any input to what you think, again, it's Dalvin Cook, Mixon, and Swift. I think I have Harris a little bit lower, but you could honestly throw Harris into that range as well. That I think all of them are so similar, and so if they're all so similar, like you obviously would prefer not to be in the spot that I was put in this one and having to take the first one, but it is what it is. It all evens out at the end of the day. So after we go, we see Diggs, Najee Harris, Mixon. There'll be 3 picks before us. I kind of don't want. I've been posting a lot of the classic like 2-4-10-2. Is it 2-4-10-2, 2-4-10-3? I don't remember which one. I think it's 2-4-10-2 of going heavy at running back early and then making up for wide receiver with just like an insane amount of them by not taking them early. I kind of like don't want to do that in this one. I want to test something else out. And honestly, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to. So if I think maybe on like a team that I was like going for all the money on, I feel like my favorite build is taking Cook there and taking Aaron Jones, just grabbing those two. I kind of just don't want to do it. And so let's try something else. I might want Mark Andrews here. It would basically be Tyreek Hill. Let's try let's go with Andrews. I don't think we've done too much of this type of build. So here's what I'm going to try and do is Dalvin Cook early, Mark Andrews here. I'll probably take 3 tight ends, but the very last round. And I'd like to attack wide receiver earlier. I suppose we'll see what the value ends up being in the 3rd round, but I would like 3rd and 4th round take wide receiver, grab some wide receivers early, and kind of go with like a 1 running back, 1 tight end, and then kind of attack those positions a little later on. But as you guys know, I always go in with these plans, and then then different things happen. We get like last week where I go with a double early tight end and have to put together like a really weird build, which I actually talk about in tomorrow's video for you guys, which is the RB0 strategy for tomorrow. But yeah, we'll see what happens there. You guys can look at this. I will see if there are any questions. Get any questions in. No, it's not a puppy draft. Puppy's filled. That thing filled really, really quickly. I think I got like... Actually, technically, I'm in like 3 slow drafts for it right now. I feel like I got in maybe 7 entries into the puppy. They're going to come out with... I don't know when. But they're going to come out with like the puppy 2, the puppy 3, the puppy 4. They're going to keep rolling them out, obviously. It's a huge moneymaker, and people love the puppy. But they also want to fill Best Ball Mania 3, and so they're going to leave that up for a little bit, and then they're going to introduce the puppy. Again, I don't have any inside information on when. My contact also just doesn't know at this point. Is Dotson moving up because of the Terry news? Dotson's moving up. Well, I say moving up. If we just like scroll down to where Dotson kind of is in the rankings, which is, I go past him. I probably went past him. He is, come on. Well, I don't know where he is, but the point was, there he is. He is up. Like he's always been up for me. If you look at the ADPs, he's always the one that stands out. So he doesn't really need to move up in the rankings. I've just had him way ahead of ADP for a while. Honestly, no. I don't think... There's no way that they don't give a contract to McLaurin. Now, maybe they're going to like really, really try and like not pay him what all these other wide receivers are getting paid, just like breaking the bank this offseason. But I don't think, like, I wouldn't be concerned to draft Terry McLaurin. I'm not concerned personally about this contract situation. Obviously, it's a positive for Dotson. Now it just introduces the chance that something happens there. But I wouldn't really factor that into drafting him. It would just be like, he's clearly good. Wentz clearly likes him. Now Wentz has more time to develop with him. Like, he's just a really good wide receiver, and I want him on my team regardless of this, whole contract situation. So I wouldn't say moving up because I can't move him up that much more. He's way ahead of ADP in the rankings. But if we ever get to a point where he isn't, where he's like pretty much at ADP where I have him ranked, I'm just going to be ahead of wherever ADP is until it gets like absurd. Like if he starts going like the top 30, obviously we're not taking him that high. Okay. So we're almost up. I was going to say Pittman would be a dream at this pick, but of course, all our dream picks go right before we're available. Sutton and Waddle and DJ Moore and Deontay Johnson, those would be the names that I'm looking at there. It would be very nice if we could get two of them. You could pull Waller up, but we're not drafting Waller. For the running backs, no, I would take some if there was a huge value. I don't see a huge value at running backs, so not going there. At quarterback, we could consider Josh Allen, but I don't know. I've spent early picks. I wanted this to be a wide receiver build. I don't think I want to do Josh Allen, though it's intriguing. I don't think I want to, though. No, we'll wait. So our favorite wide receiver is going to be Sutton. You could play the ADP game and try and get more, but it's like 2 spots of ADP. We'll take Sutton here. Maybe it is a little bit early for Courtland Sutton. But when you just look at like the board, I don't think that we really needed any other spots. Like, again, Josh Allen would be a fine pick. And maybe if Josh Allen's there at, 40, we'll probably end up taking him. But I'd very much like one of these 3 players. I kind of feel like it's not going to happen. I'm not going to go with Waller at the next pick. I hate when they do that. There we go. I think it should eliminate. So this is how Underdog works. If I click tight end, it only highlights that one. I think it should eliminate the one that you picked. But anyways, I'd consider doing another running back. One of like Akers, Zeke, or Etienne. That would also be fine. Because again, I don't think we're going to end up with Moore or Allen. I could consider Mahomes, but I would consider that much more heavily if I had grabbed Tyreek Hill instead of, geez, not even on that team anymore. If I had grabbed Kelsey instead of Mark Andrews, but having Mark Andrews there, I guess the correlation factor doesn't really help. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to go with Mahomes. So there all the guys go. Do we just draft another? We could start off. What if we took Judy? What if we went with the Denver stack? We go with, that's interesting. I kind of want to do it. Yeah, let's do that. I know he's got like a minor injury right now, but like, let's be honest. It is June 14th. He's got plenty of time to recover. Okay. So we've got Sutton and Judy here. We pretty much at this point have to get Russell Wilson. So we need to just put him on the board and kind of game plan what. So we have. Do we probably need to take him here? His ADP was what, 70? 77? Ugh, we're in a bad spot for that. We're in a really bad spot for that because 81 is our pick in the 7th round. So we'd need to get him at a value. But to lock up the stack, we have to take him in the 6th round at 64. And that hurts. I don't love that at all. So we'll think about what we're going to do at that one. Honestly, it's not the end of the world if you start this stack off and it doesn't hit. Like at the end of the day, it's still fine. We don't need, this isn't like season long. If I had these 2 guys, I need every week for them to be producing. This is still Underdog, so I can have 1 week be a Judy week, 1 week be a Sutton week, and my quarterback performs at least similarly to Russell Wilson on average. But you would very much prefer, if you started off like this, to get Wilson. So see what happens. There's still also a chance, no one else is stacking with Wilson right now, unless someone who grabbed Javonte Williams is going to stack with him. So, we're not concerned about like the person who drafted Judy getting him or Sutton drafting him. Like we have both. So possible. But I can't see myself taking him at 64. I think we have to try and wait till there. But we'll play the wait and see game. Are there any questions? You're listening while mowing the lawn. Wonderful. Yeah, absolutely love to see it. I usually listen to stuff when I'm on the runs. I haven't been doing it lately. I'm doing that Underdog like cardio club. You have to do an exercise. Most people do like a bike or like a Stairmaster or something like that, or a walk. But I've just been doing a run. First run was the best. It was a beautiful day. I went like 5 miles. Have not been able to reach that yet. I think we went like 4:25 and 4:05, any other two. But I think by the end of the one, I'm going to be doing them through when I go to Seattle. I can't actually do. That's another thing. When I'm in Seattle from June, I don't know, 22nd, June 22nd through like July something, 12th, something like that. I can't do underdog drafts. So we're going to have to do these drafts on like Sleeper or something else, a different format, because I will not be allowed to do these drafts. But going back to it, when you guys are running, when you guys are doing that stuff, listen to podcasts. I know a lot of people listen to music, but I like to do the podcast. All right. Would you draft first Jefferson or Dalvin in a redraft PPR league? Jefferson, for sure. I wouldn't go to that group. So you've got Cooper, Jefferson, Chase. This group right here, I'm not touching. So there's like the first kind of tier of running back is Taylor, McCaffrey, Eckler. And if you want to throw Henry in, you can. In a PPR league, I probably wouldn't. I'm taking these 3 wide receivers and these 3 running backs ahead of everyone. That's the first 6. After that, you get into a range of everyone being sort of similar. So no, I wouldn't. We're not actually taking Wilson. We just queued him up to remind ourselves that we need to. Waller's on the board at 57. Oh my God, we just did this last week. Can we even do that? All right, Godwin would be a good pick. We're not taking Hurts because we're not taking a quarterback at this spot. I absolutely hate this. Okay. Not taking those tight ends. It would only be Waller. Thielen would be such a reach at this point. Oh my God. Well, I think we have to take Godwin. I think it just makes the most sense with how we wanted to start off this build. I don't think a whole lot of analysis is needed there. Godwin, not necessarily going to start the season, but it's not a big deal. If Godwin takes a month even to get into the year, it's really not a big deal in Underdog. You can make up for it. You're going to have production until that point. It's honestly a bigger deal in like redraft leagues. But even redraft leagues, if you're getting him in this range, late 5th round, 6th round, like when he's healthy, he's a 3rd round pick. So you're getting a really, really nice value. I like his ADP right now. So like the team so far, Dalvin Cook headlining running back, and we finally did what we wanted to do. I didn't want to make this a running back heavy draft, and I haven't needed to. Dalvin Cook at running back, Sutton, Judy, Godwin at wide receiver, and then Mark Andrews at tight end. Quarterback, we're hoping to get Russell Wilson. Again, I'll pull this up. Hoping to get him at 80. So we have this pick coming up here. Not going to go with a tight end. Not going to go with a quarterback. So our options are Adam Thielen. It's too early for Miles Sanders, right? Thielen's gone. I would say, yeah, St. Brown, Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore. That's who I would very much prefer to get. I knocked down Jacobs in the rankings. A lot had come out. I'll take Renfro if people actually take Thielen, St. Brown, Cooper, and Elijah Moore all in a row. Or would I take? I'd probably try and chance it with Devonta Smith, honestly. That's probably how I do it. All right, they didn't do it. Move Jacobs down. I just like Zamir White, and I know I've read some stuff saying that like maybe Zamir White isn't as good as like he used to be after the like multiple ACL injuries. I don't know. The things I was reading in the offseason, watching him play, I just think Zamir White has a chance to be special. I think he has a chance to be really good. And at the bare minimum, I think he's like a quality running back that is going to take snaps away from Jacobs. And like there's the article that came out that like Jacobs was like hoping that like Kenyon Drake would like get more work over him 1 week because he was like, you know, I mean, he's protecting himself. Like it's a good thing for Jacobs to do, like protecting his body, getting other people involved. But like for fantasy, there's just no world in which Jacobs is featured. And so I've been kind of thinking about that. If the reception ceiling's capped, if I think there's a chance Zamir White gets early down work, like I moved him down. Now again, you can see I didn't move him down that much. He's still here. But I feel like he's going to get to the point where it's like below ADP. You guys are probably going to stop getting him as much in drafts. And there's a chance if we get some positive Gibson news, we get positive Clyde news. It's the whole ambiguous backfield situation here, but I don't really see those guys moving up. I don't see him moving down that much either, though. The draft board here, and then I'll get back to your questions. I don't think anything weird has happened in this draft. I would say the fall of Darren Waller was pretty strange. We almost just got Andrews and Darren Waller on the same team at 2nd and 5th round ADPs. This is too late for Darren Waller. I know Adams is there, but this is a little bit too late for him. but I don't think anyone has done anything strange. Um, this is interesting though. Wait, yeah, oh, that's sad. I was gonna say, if the 81 here was gonna be in this range, these guys already have quarterback, so we weren't worried about them taking quarterback. But unfortunately, you've got this whole range of everyone who hasn't taken a quarterback yet, and someone's probably going to take Russell Wilson in that range. But I'll leave that up. Try to get to the next question. I have not answered very many questions. I apologize, but keep hammering away at them because you guys know at the end of the draft, like I'm going to go through. So even though you're like, oh, he's not even close to my question, keep going. Keep putting any questions you guys have in there. I'm going to keep scrolling. I'm going to keep answering them. I promise. I don't know. Maybe I should talk about the Elijah Moore pick. He's good at football. Like he's just a phenomenal wide receiver. I think that Zach Wilson might not be like that good. And I think we're really going to find out this season, but I don't care. I believe in Elijah Moore. I believe he's a talented wide receiver. This is only year 2 for him. He was phenomenal as a rookie. I believe in him. So I'm cool taking him even if Wilson's not that good. All right. Now I will do some questions. First stream you made it to. Excited to try and get into the next draft. You didn't make it into this one. Well, yeah. Show up next time. Again, if you guys are here, like wait in the lobby before it's happening because there's like 10 people in there and you're going to be one of the first people to click the link because as soon as we go live, I post the link. And I posted it before Twitter. So if you're watching on Twitter or you're like, can't watch on Twitter, but if you're, waiting on Twitter for the link, it goes after the draft. So get in here early. How do you gauge the trio of Woods, Lockett, and Claypool this year as they all have interesting quarterback situations? Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Part of me wants to boost Seattle's rankings because I'm just convinced that there is no way they enter the season with Drew Lock or Geno Smith as a starting quarterback. And with it looking more and more likely by the day that both Jimmy Garoppolo and Baker get cut, you got to think one of them is going to Seattle. And if that happens, they're going to skyrocket in ADP. Like people can be like, oh yeah, I got to draft them. And I already have actually, I've been ending up with Lockett in a ton of underdog drafts, so I must have him ahead of ADP. But like, I don't know. Part of me really, really thinks that like that's going to happen. And people are just assuming that Drew Lock and Geno Smith are going to be quarterback. And like, that's what's in my projections. That's why I never get Metcalf. But it's like part of me thinks I should just project one of those two as the starting quarterback. And if that's the case, you'd be getting a lot of them. So we'll see what happens. Right on cue, Russell Wilson does end up going to a team that did not stack him. So that was fun. It's okay. Again, like I said, you don't need it. I don't know why I just like saw Lockett on the screen and then like he disappeared. But you don't need that stack. It would just have been nice to get it. Not going to go with tight end. Not going to go with the quarterback. You could argue Brady here, but I don't think we need to do it. Would have went with Renfro with this pick. He gets taken. Would definitely go with Russell Gage. We'll see if he goes. Oh, actually, Brady wouldn't be a bad pick here. Ooh, wait, no. If don't take Gage, Sewell. Don't do it because this could be really good for us. As we can see, these guys have Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, and Josh Allen. I can take, if he's available, Russell Gage with this pick. Nice. Pretty sure Brady will still be on the board at the next one. Because why would they take Brady if... Why would these teams take Brady? Why would they take their second quarterback? This team doesn't have a tight end yet. This team has 3 wide receivers. They're not going to be able to stack him. I should have checked that. No. Do these teams have... All right, that one doesn't have... Let's see if they have Mike Williams. Okay, none of them have Mike Williams. None of them have Godwin or Gage because I have him. There's no reason for these teams to take Tom Brady. So we should get him at the next pick, which would be a really nice stack for us. And it would make up for having the Sutton and Judy stack because we still have our Godwin and Gage stack. And if that falls through, then I give up. I'll be upset. Okay. Oh, okay. So that was kind of the answer on Lockett. I just think Lockett's a good pick because of where he's kind of going in drafts and people not assuming that could happen. Woods, I think, is a perfectly fine pick. I might end up getting Woods here. I have Woods typically kind of ahead of ADP. I did look today actually, at some of the lines for receiving props on DK. They haven't really posted many, but they posted rookies. And Traylon Burks has a really high line. It's like nearly 900 receiving yards, which is a very high over under, especially for someone who's been like in and out of camp, just trying to like just getting gas with like his um the lungs. What was it called when you need? I don't even remember what it's called. Um, Someone help me. When you can't breathe because you have asthma. Jeez, I'm crow. Asthma. I've been struggling with that. I just think Woods is a quality wide receiver that always gets overlooked, and he's the clear number 2. They have Phillips. He's Phillips. He's been performing well, but like Woods is the number 2. So it works out. Always check the draft, see what values you can get. I think we pulled off a really, really nice run here. I like our team, and this is what I wanted to test out, was putting a higher emphasis on these wide receivers, getting wide receivers we know are talented, we know we're going to produce. I like that wide receiver core, and we can headline it with Dalvin Cook. If Dalvin Cook has a season to remember, he's our running back 1 in most weeks. We don't need high-end talent around him. Problem is, I typically tank running backs after this kind of range, so we'll still be good with like Edmonds, Pollard, Melvin Gordon. Jeez, we could take Melvin Gordon and just go all in on Denver, which wouldn't be a bad strategy. If we think they're just going to be good this season, just take a bunch of Denver players. They're going to produce. You're going to have random weeks where one of them scores 2 touchdowns and another one scores 2 touchdowns, and like that's all you're capitalizing on Underdog. So I'm totally fine doing that. But yeah, I mean, Edmonds, Pollard, we'll queue them up. Edmonds, Pollard, Melvin Gordon, we find with Kareem Hunt, and then we get into this range. So it would be nice if our second running back was one of these 4. But again, I wanted to try a build where we went with a running back early, kind of a hero RB strategy. Really just did rock solid all these other positions. And then we go back to running back, kind of hit it with a little bit of volume late because we haven't been doing volume late running back builds. Wide receiver, yeah, I mean, Tony Woods. Yeah, Tony Woods, Boyd, Galladay. Garrett Wilson would honestly be like in big consideration for us. I would say for this team, that's something we should consider because what's Zach Wilson's buy? Hopefully it's not 11. It can be anything else, Zach. All right, 10. So this is a big consideration for us. A really nice stack of Brady and Zach Wilson. If we end up getting Garrett Wilson, we'd have those would be 2 really nice stacks to get. I don't know if we'll end up getting it, but Wilson's also someone we can reach a little bit on. 172 is his ADP. We'll have a chance at like 160. Honestly, we can get him in the 14th round. That's totally fine. I'd be comfortable with that. So something to consider. But I would prefer, I'll pull this back up. Our next pick is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still 7 picks that are going to go by. Only 3 running backs left that we kind of want in that range. We'll see. We'll see who's on the board. I hope that answered your question. I didn't even go over Claypool. I think Claypool is fine. I'm not in love with him. They might move him more into like slot snaps, I heard. But he's like fine. If he's a top wide receiver on the board, I'm good with it. I'm not going out of my way to reach for him. But he's like fine. I really have no big analysis on Claypool. Okay, you had some questions about the series on draft research. I will ask specifically about the robust RB vid, but this applies to all vids. I reached the limit. Oh, you reached the character limit. Nice. When you say drafting 3 running backs in the first 5 rounds increases your championship chances, yes, most of the time. Could that just be because good players tend to draft running backs and worse players don't? No. Hold on. I'll answer that question when I'm up. Okay, we're going to get one of these 2 running backs. It's not really a value for us to do so, and it's entirely possible our team would be better off grabbing Garrett Wilson here. So I'm not sure what to do. I think it's between these 2. If we really want to get all the correlation in the world, Garrett Wilson would be a really good pick here. But will we have abandoned running back too much? 3 running back build. I think these guys are likely to go with a wide receiver. Let's take Wilson. I feel like these guys want wide receiver. I don't think this team is going to go with a fourth running back in this spot. I could be wrong, but I don't think they will. So there's only two teams. Both of them have two running backs. They'd be grabbing a third running back here. I think it's safer. I think these teams want wide receiver more than running back. So we'll risk it. And at the end of the day, we actually had two. I forgot we had two. Oh, yeah, I think that was the right pick because I don't really care which one I get between Edmonds and Gordon here. But I did really want Garrett Wilson to get that correlation. Pull this up and we'll hope to get one of those two running backs. No, that's not really the case. I don't have like a huge reasoning as to why, but it's basically when you have a large enough sample, you can't just assume that only good teams are taking running back early. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 running backs taken here. There are years where like 9 running backs go in the first round. Like if you just look at ADP, it just happens to work out where there are like a lot of running backs early on. And I wouldn't just say that like bad players look at that and go, oh, can't take a running back. So I don't think that I don't really think that's the case. If anything, you could think that like maybe there are some people who are in tune with like strategies and value, and maybe they're like, oh, I want to avoid this running back and try and do something different, take wide receivers and tight ends or something like that. And that's not really something that like a higher end or a lower end player would do. They're just taking more ADP. And if you just take ADP, I feel like naturally you're going to end up with some running backs. So we don't get the running back, which is actually good, honestly. We can kind of see how this build works out. But now that I think of it, James Cook is still on the board. I would actually be fine with him as well. So not the end of the world, actually. We could just take James Cook at this spot. We could, if we had Wilson, I would probably take Tim Patrick here. I don't think we can do that. I don't think I can justify drafting Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, and Tim Patrick to stack with no quarterback. I don't think I could possibly pass for that one. If you wanted to, we'll take James Cook here. If you really wanted to do that, you would do it on like Best Ball Mania 3, the puppy, something like that. And you would check, I don't actually know, I probably should know, who Denver plays in week 17. You would take those three. Everyone, if they make it to that round and they have that combination, is going to have Wilson. You basically just take, I don't know why Underdog does that sometimes. You take the other quarterback. So you assume that maybe Wilson goes off and he's throwing to these guys and he's doing great, but that the other quarterback is forced to play catch up. Maybe that quarterback spreads it around a little bit more. Maybe that quarterback runs the ball in, and that quarterback just edges out Russell Wilson, and now you have a unique build. That's what I would do. This is a 12-team draft that is not going for 10 million in prizes, like $1 million to first, $1 million highest scoring. I'm just having to beat 11 people, and so I don't need that sort of game theory in week 17. Realistically, in this draft, every single week is the same. It's just going for overall points for the entire season. So we can pull up the draft. I'm looking at Trey Lance as like a pretty good value right now. But I think we got to just hope that we can get Russell Wilson. And if we don't, we'll find a different stacking partner maybe later on with like someone. I don't even know who. All the other stacking partners are gone. But it's interesting. Yeah, there goes Trey Lance. That was a good pick. I need to bump him up as well. I think I need to increase his rushing or his efficiency, something like that, because there's a 100% chance at this point to go with Trey Lance. And so if anything like that was holding me back in the projection, I'm going to make sure it's not. And we're going to go like all in Trey Lance. Now, all in Trey Lance meaning he's the starting quarterback, not we're drafting him in every draft, right? That's a very big distinction there. But I'm going to make sure that that's reflected in the rankings. I think right now maybe I have him a little bit too low, though. I mean, when he got picked, he was like a top 5 player in the rankings, so it made complete sense. At our next pick, we'll try and answer a question first. No, but to finish that off, yes, it's definitely the running backs just helping out. It's just if you look at most valuable players year after year, if you look at these high-end seasons, hitting on running back is so important that you want to give yourself a lot of chances to do it. There's so much value to be had in the early rounds. They're so much more likely to produce high-end seasons. you should just take 3 running backs first 5 rounds in a redraft league, unless there's like weird circumstances where you have like a ton of wide receivers you can draft. But watch tomorrow's video, because tomorrow we go over the RB0 strategy. 120 people in the draft also right now. That is definitely a record for us. Only 24 likes. Let's get that number up. Can we at least hit 30? 30 likes. It means literally nothing. Streams don't get, posted a bunch. I'm not trying to get you to like feature this video on trending, but let's get to 30 likes. Let's go a little bit higher. All right. I promise after this next duo of picks, I will get back to questions. One of you is going to take Jahan Dotson, so I feel like I should go in to get him. Sister. I should probably get him at the next pick. But Dotson, Landry, Corey Davis, we go all in on 2 stacks and we don't get either of them. That'll be fun. Our running back's really low at this point. So Hines, oh my God. Yeah, running back's real bad. So we're going to have to, let's keep that in mind actually. Let's not get too aggressive at wide receiver. We're going to need probably 6 running backs. We might need 6 running backs in this sort of build, which means, I'll pull that up in a second. We're definitely going to take at least 1 more wide receiver, so we can still take one with this pick. But should we lean towards a running back? Stevenson's not a bad pick here. Stevenson's going to get work. He's going to get some receptions. He's going to score touchdowns. Maybe there's an off chance that, Damian Harris got traded this season. They go with Strong and Stevenson. Stevenson's the one. Also, the Patriots are going to have like an okay offense, and there'll be weeks where Stevenson is utilized. So not a bad pick. Maybe we should go with him and then hope that Dotson's there at the next one, because I feel like it's more important for us to like secure another running back. But let's make sure we don't screw this up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 picks left. We said that at probably 160, we want to go with Wilson. We're going to need 2 tight ends probably to close the draft. So that's tight end. That's tight end. We'll take whoever's there. That means we have rounds 15 and 16, those 2 picks, and then rounds 12 and 13, 4 picks left. If I want like 6 running backs, no idea what the success rate is on that, but we'll see. Okay, so people are being drafted. Ooh, I don't like Jacoby Myers on Underdog, but it kind of just made me think I can give myself a second out from Wilson and have the possibility of a stacking partner with Mac Jones. Not against actually. Oh, I was gonna say I'm not against drafting Freiermuth here. I don't think we're gonna go with one of those tight ends. We're in a bad spot. This is gonna be a bad pick. I don't know what's best for us. Part of me thinks one of these 2 is best for us. Oh no. Oh no. No, don't take Wilson. No. No. Okay. I was going to draft Spiller there. I don't know why I didn't. I wanted to click the button, but I missed. I'm going to blame the mouse. Okay. So what we should have done is taken Spiller with that pick. Grabbed our... I don't know why I was thinking about that so hard. All right. We should give ourselves more time. That's he's picked. That was brutal. Oh, no. Okay, so we should have drafted Spiller. We'll make up for it. We got our stack. All right, so we're done with quarterback. How can we dig ourselves out of this hole? Spiller's not going to be there at the next pick. So what was holding me up is I didn't want Myers because he's like always fine from a season-long standpoint, but he's not going to catch touchdowns. And with their offense, the odds that he has these like 10, 11 reception games are so small that it's just not... He's not going to end up in my optimal lineup very often. So I don't see really a point in drafting him, especially at ADP. If I was getting him at a huge value, sure. Drafting him at ADP just doesn't really make a lot of sense for us. So we absolutely 100%, if I was paying attention and clicking the correct buttons, should have gone with Spiller at that pick. And honestly, Comment may have been even a solid pick there. But definitely what a bad pick was what we did and draft Wilson. So thank goodness this is only a $3 draft. So we'll pull everything up. We'll pull this up. Ugh, yikes. All right, let's try and get back to to these picks here. Also, guys, you don't need to tag me. I go through all of them. And again, like I said, when we're done the draft, I'll go through and answer all these questions. Let's see. Are you going to have a quarterback strategy video pertaining to Superflex 2 quarterback leagues? I don't think one is scheduled because the actual strategy videos themselves don't deal with 2 quarterback leagues. I removed all of those. And next year, I'm going to create a data set that has 2 quarterback leagues. But for right now, I don't think the sample is really large enough in each year. Again, next year, I'm hoping to get like 2 to 3 million teams perhaps. And we're going to have a really, really good data set. I didn't think it was enough to really get like good analysis on Superflex League. So next season, I think I'll probably do another Superflex draft. And in that video, I'll talk more about Superflex. But I don't think there's going to be a specific Superflex video. I don't really think there's a spot really, like a natural spot to bring it up because like that study doesn't really deal with 2 quarterback leagues. So yeah, I think I'll just do another mock draft and we'll do that. Okay. We're not going to make up for the mistake by taking a running back here. At this point, running back is what it is. We're relying on those guys. We're going to have to take some later. I don't see anything I love at wide receiver. There are really no values. Osborne ADP wise the value, but there's no great values there. Oh no. We're going to have to take a wide receiver, I think, because we're definitely not taking a quarterback. All right, we'll just take our favorite wide receiver. It'll be someone here. I don't want to take Bourne. Like, Bourne makes a ton of sense here. I think someone just tweeted out, actually. He was, I should probably take Chark because the odds are I can get, I just don't like Chark. I just don't think he's that good. He fits in with our bye weeks pretty nicely, though. And he'd be a deep ball receiver. Okay, Chark makes a little bit of sense here. We'll take Chark. We'll take that ADP value. We need to focus with this pick, though. All right, so it kind of threw us off that we didn't have the Zach Wilson pick later on. 2 tight ends, if we draft them here, leaves us with 3 left. We need more running backs. All right, let's load up on the running backs. We probably need... We have a pass-catching back, and we've got our lead back. I want to draft one more pass-catching back to get like a stable floor each week, just ensure that we don't get like steamrolled. So I'd like McKissick, Williams there, Darrell Williams, but we should also be rostering up some of these guys that like have upside to like, you know, take over. It's unlikely, but some of these rookies later on, because obviously that's something that we kind of need to happen on the team is, you know, we need someone to break out at the running back position because we only have Dalvin Cook, James. Oh, yeah, we have the brothers. And Stevenson. We're going to need a little bit of help. Oh, man, that was a blunder and a half. We needed Spiller for this team. Like, we needed that production. We needed to wait on Wilson. Oh, never misclick, guys. Never do it. I don't think we can go with wide receiver here. I think we have to just start locking up these running backs we feel good about because we only have 1 wide receiver pick left. I don't even care. I mean, there's plenty of options we can take later on. I think we have to just go with these running backs. Probably go with Darrell. We want to play the ADP game with these guys. So Darrell and Price are 2 that we need to really consider with here. I prefer Darrell because I think he's going to have like a consistent role in the offense and then obviously, you know, running back 1 upside if something happened to James Conner. But same deal with Price to a lesser extent. I think they're going to consistently use him. So we'll get that production. Mitchell goes down. Price will see a big bump in volume. I don't think we're going to end up with him. Is this the mini turn, though? It's the late one. Because I was looking like 4, 3, 5 running backs. A lot of these teams have a lot of running backs already. So it wouldn't be shocking if we don't see a run here. But yeah, we're going to have to start drafting these guys. I'll pull up the draft board here so you guys can see. We got a long time till our next pick, but we'll probably screw that up again. Would you take Bateman or Traylon Burks in a trade PPR? Well, I think the question is more who would I prefer in PPR. I don't think the trade, unless you're talking about dynasty, which needs to be specified. If you are, I'll pull up the PPR rankings. I'm pretty confident Bateman is first. Um, Bateman is first. Bateman is 81st overall. Yeah, Burke's down at 98. Bateman. I think he's got a more clear path to that production, and he's not cast all through camp. Not good for Burks fans out there right now, which I include myself in. Taysom Hill thoughts. I see a lot of people jumping on. I think Davis Maddock is like the biggest poster boy for this, but a lot of people jumping on the late round Taysom Hill. I just don't see it. I'm not even sure he's not even the backup quarterback. Like, sure, maybe he's a fine pick in like the last round of the draft, but I don't see why you need to do that. He's like pretty old at this point. I don't see it. Maybe he can do something, but like you're reaching. You're hoping that we have like multiple quarterback injuries, that they're using him on gadget plays again. Like, he's getting really up there in age. I don't really know if he's going to be like a hyper productive tight end hybrid weapon for them this season. So no, I'm not in on that. Half PPR, Breece Hall or Etienne. Y'all keep switching the scoring format, so I got to keep pulling up different sets of rankings. Off the top of my head, I would assume that you would go with Breece Hall because his ADP is probably much earlier, and that you would hope you get Etienne after that. I have Etienne ranked slightly ahead. It's 2 spots ahead of Breece Hall. Oh, and his ADP is actually caught up at this point. Ranked 17th, ADP 17th. Breece Hall ranked 19th, ADP 19th. So there you go. There's hard-hitting analysis for you. So I would go Etienne. But yeah, I liked him more. It's just before Breece Hall was going much earlier than Etienne. I guess now people are starting to realize how good Etienne's going to be, and that ADP skyrocketing now. So half PPR, yeah, I'd go with Etienne. Etienne's 2021 Debo. I mean, I don't think anyone this season is going to be 2021 Debo. Oh, we need to make a pick soon. But he's good, and he could produce like really high-end numbers when you're combining his rushing and his receiving. All right, so is that really it for running backs here? Everyone's terrified to go to Brian Robinson because I always like trash on him. So now he's 9 spots of value if we were to end up getting him. I mean, that wouldn't be a bad pick for us. Do we have any other correlation there? No. Brian Robinson would not be a bad pick for us in this spot. If we could get Brian Robinson, James Robinson, one of Brian Robinson or Zamir White, I think we'll be fine with the blunder. Still a huge mistake, but I think okay. Yeah, he resumed jogging. He's like running now. Again, I think Etienne should be going way earlier, but he is. Etienne's going, what I said, running back 17. We're at 177. This was the 15th round. I mean, he still has upside, obviously. He's still going to be like the number 2. Again, I don't think he's going to be like some incredible pick, but it's a lot of value, and we needed that value, so thank you, guys. But yeah, I think if we had Dalvin Cook, James Cook, Stevenson, Darrell Williams, James Robinson, and one of these guys, I'd actually feel good about our running back core. So I think that will actually end up being fine. We can get that, and I think we are going to get that. I'll take whatever wide receiver late. There's so many wide receivers with upside late, just like weekly upside that we can hit. We've got our quarterback, and then we'll finish off, I believe that's how it'll go, with the 2 tight ends. Oh no, we only have 2 picks. I knew I was doing my math wrong. Okay, so we only have 1. We can't go, we have to pick if we want a running back or a wide receiver here. And I think the correct answer is still wide receiver, even with how we kind of went with this. I mean, you can start like 4 wide receivers every week, so I think it's still sharper to go with wide receiver, but who's there? David Bell? Oh, I don't know. What about tight ends? Is there anything? No, there's nothing that we need to be concerned with. We're going to take 2 garbage options late. Oh, no. I don't know what you should do here. I don't know. I think David Bell's the correct pick. They love him. He's performing really well in camp. Even if you have, uh, I don't know. I don't know what the correct pick was there. Someone let me know. What's the math say when you do? I know someone has the math out there. I don't know what the math says on that pick. I get my thinking is basically I just got rock solid value there. Players shouldn't be going that late. But also, if we have 3 starting wide receiver spots, I'm pretty sure, unless I'm like delusional, you have 3 starting wide receiver spots plus the flex. I should just assume that like I'm only starting 2 running backs every week, and I've got Dalvin Cook, so there's one of them. If Dalvin Cook stinks, I lose this league, so it doesn't matter. We only need to find one between these 4. I have to think that's best. So 2 quarterback, 5 running back, 8 wide receiver, and we'll do 2 tight ends to end it. I guess you could argue, if I don't feel confident enough with these running backs and I want to take one of these 2, you could argue that by having Mark Andrews, I don't keep thinking I drafted Travis Kelce. By having Mark Andrews, I might be able to pass with 2. If we're assuming Mark Andrews has a dominant season, how often are these guys really? Okay. Maybe we'll do 2. So who doesn't have a week 10 bye? So we can't take Hurst. Austin Hooper will be a consistent option for us. He's going to be consistently involved in the receiving game. I can dig that. Okay. Azoma. Ooh. That's not a bad pick. Azoma's talented. Now, I don't know that he's going to have like high in season, but hey, if Zach Wilson gets rolling and he pays off our 136 blunder, and we've got that to be a nice stack, more Wilson, Azoma. If Zach Wilson ends up being good this year, all those guys are crushing their ADP. Now, will he be good? Unlikely, but that wouldn't be a bad pick. So, okay. I'm okay with this. I think that's our option. I think we take... Someone took that guy. Okay. I think we take Zamir White if he's on the board. If he's not on the board, I actually don't think I like any of these running backs enough. And then I think I'd go with 2 tight ends. If White's on the board, I'll take him. If he's not, I'll go with 2 tight ends. That's what we'll do. All right. How would you rank Pitts, Kittle, Waller? Sounds like a good player comparison video. Sure does sound like that. I probably will end up doing that. Off the top of my head, Pitts is first. He had one of the best seasons ever, if not the best season ever for rookie tight end. We knew that was going to happen. He was going to have a phenomenal season. He's a stud. They have very little talent. He's said that, in his training coming into camp, he feels light years ahead of what he was last year. That makes sense. That's what every single tight end says. Tight ends it's such a difficult position to learn. And so these guys always struggle in the rookie year. Not Pitts, because he's awesome. He's a freak. Pitts would be my number 1 there. Between Waller and Kittle, I think there's a lot of risk in going with the pick before us. See, well, I know you're in. I know you're listening. Okay, you have Derek Carr. I can get behind that. Okay, Derek Carr. Just stack it with. We have a pick. We'll take Hooper. You stack it with someone. You better stack it with someone here. No, we want Sewell here. Okay, we're fine with it. He has Darren Waller. He's got Adams. Makes sense. All right, it was a good pick. You got Waller. You got Adams. You got Carr, which is stacked. I love. You've got Tua with Waddle. Beautiful. All right, it was a good pick. But we wanted him. I like Zamir White. I might have to move him up more in the rankings because I also kind of want to move Jacobs down, and it's very easy to shift some of those carries down from Jacobs into Zamir. Is this the last pick? All right, then we can really answer the questions that I've been avoiding. But yeah, we'll take Azoma. If Azoma's not on the board, I don't know. I would say Brait, but what if Gronk returns? It was kind of a throwaway pick at that point. Honestly, Logan Thomas might just be a better pick. If we're going just for the moon, God, we don't need it though. I keep thinking we don't need this tight end pick. I'm going to take all the time. I don't like these running backs. I don't like these running backs. I don't know what the correct thing to do is there. But part of me thinks that Logan Thomas is correct because he's not going to start the year. But we have Mark Andrews and Hooper. And if to close the season, he performs really, really strong, that can be something that really elevates us, down the stretch, ensures that every week we've dominant at tight end. And you know what? He could still find his way into the flex if he happens to score a touchdown. The research does show, again, if you draft a tight end, even if it's relatively early, like 3 is still a good thing to go for. And when I was kind of looking at things, I was like, that doesn't make sense. It's really just because, like, even if you look at Mark Andrews last season, do you know how many weeks Mark Andrews just has? Like, not insane. I'll pull it up. Hold on. Let's pull up Mark Andrews stats, Pro Football Reference. Pull it up on the screen here. We'll go to his game logs from last year. Now, he was dominant last season, right? But let's pull up his 2021 fantasy stats. Okay. Week 1, 3.5. He has an 8.2, a 9.2, 6.3, a 6.9, a 7, even like, 12, 12 and a half. Like, there's definitely a chance that in these weeks, I need more production at the tight end position, and maybe it takes me 2 shots to kind of get there. And again, this was from the tight end 1. So basically what the study was showing was if you're drafting a mid-round tight end, unless you think they're the next Mark Andrews, like they're a mid-round tight end and they produce like this, expect a lot of dud weeks, even from these really high-end options. And that's why you probably want to go with 3 of them. I'm going to pull up. Oh, God, I hate when it gets to this point. All right. Like that. I always get so confused. All right. So we'll pull that there. We'll kind of go over our team in a second. But I do want to answer any questions that are left over. Try to get Lamar. I wasn't even thinking about it. Where was Lamar? Well, Lamar went, end of the 4th round. I don't know no. Because I would have had to take him in the 4th here. I suppose, yeah, if Lamar had made it back to the 5th, that would have been a really good pairing. I shouldn't have taken him there, though. I know what you were trying to say, though. Hearing you say my pick like 5. Oh, yeah. No, it's a delay. I don't know if it's like 15 seconds or what. But, yeah, I can see on the screen over here it's like a pretty big delay. So, yeah, it is trippy if you guys are in the draft and then I say a pick goes by and you're like, oh, that happened like way in the past. Yeah. I got a question I posted, but, yeah, I know I went over that one. Christian Watson or Olave? I pretty much the same. In Underdog, it's if you had that like stack. What rankings did I pull up last? Half PPR. Okay, that's what you're getting. Half PPR. I have Olave at 120, Christian Watson at 138. So I have Olave first. I wouldn't lock that in though. With Olave, we're gonna see a lot of his value hinging on Thomas. When does Thomas return to camp? How does Thomas look in camp? That is going to impact this decision. So I can't really give like a firm thing right now. I think right now I'd be taking Olave, but yeah, it's, if Michael Thomas comes back and he looks great, the answer is Christian Watson. How do you gauge the trio? I already did that one. Do you care about week 17 correlation in best ball? No. This one in particular, absolutely no, because again, like I said, if you're doing a 12-team league with just you, throw it out the window. You don't care about week 17. Every week's identical. This question is, I'm sure, for Best Ball Mania 3, for whenever the Puppy 2 comes out. I don't. I think people overweight that way too much, and they'll be willing to like reach around for a player just to get this like bogus week 17 correlation. And listen, I understand all the money's at top. You want to win $1 million. You still got to draft a really good team. And the odds that you draft a team makes it all the way to the end, and then you happen to be like, yes, I got the week 17 correlation. You happen to guess right on a really high total game. There happens to be no weather concern. And then that game happens to shoot out. Like, it's such a low probability bet, and you still had to get there. I would rather just draft a team. You're going to end up with random correlation throughout different weeks. So, like, there will absolutely be a few players on this list. Like, I don't know if Baltimore plays Minnesota, but Baltimore is probably going to play one of Minnesota, Denver, Tampa, the Jets, Buffalo, New England, the Lions, Arizona. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, there's going to be random correlation thrown in throughout the season. And it's such a low probability bet. And a lot of people are doing it. And all they're doing is opening up value for you. So if you want to do it at ADP and you know off the top of your head who KC plays, who Buffalo plays, like these really good teams, and you already have one side, and at ADP you can grab the other side, absolutely, you can do that. Under no circumstance can you reach just for the correlation. You can reach for players you want. That's fine. For the correlation, no, you can't be doing that. And I just don't think it's a sharp thing to do. Again, you can get it at ADP. Yeah, no. When I'm in Seattle, I'm probably going to do Sleeper, because Sleeper also lets you do the link, and I can start whenever I want. So I'll be able to still post a link. It'll be the exact same thing for you guys. It just won't be Underdog and won't be paid. But it is what it is. That'll be like a true mock draft. And honestly, it'll be good to kind of mix that in for a few weeks. So I'll be there, Let's pull up. Okay, so I have the stream on Tuesday. I fly out on Wednesday. So this live stream and this live stream will be Sleeper. And that'll be good to mix in two redraft league ones. I actually don't think I'll be streaming on this day. I don't know what time my flight is. I haven't bought the ticket yet. But I'll be coming back on the 12th. And it is very unlikely I want to do a stream after traveling, like a 6-hour plane ride back in like multiple hours in airports. So I would say that's unlikely. Let's see. It's the second time you took two people you bookmarked like 5 seconds after you picked. No, yeah. And honestly, guys, I'm bookmarking. I know a lot of you guys also like listen to the content and look at the rankings and stuff like that. It's like, I know I'm going to get, sniped with these picks because like, if they're the top in the rankings, you guys are seeing that, right? So not actually upset anything. 16-team keeper league. Do you keep Miles Sanders or Debo? What's the format? I need to know the format for that. But something interesting. Did I show this to you guys in the last live stream? I don't know if I did. Oh, God. Okay. Hopefully you can't see the link. I'll have to change the link after if you do. This is the keeper section. So I will paste in. You're getting half PPR answering for this one. I'll paste in the 16-team rankings. I'll copy that. Go over here. Boop. Draft decision. Delete these. What was the question? Miles Sanders or Debo? Well, I probably should have looked at the people. The answer is Debo. But this is going to help you guys answer any question. So obviously, the answer is Debo. Oh, well, let's just pretend they're both 5th round picks. So the answer is Debo. But let's say it was Debo in the 6th or Miles Sanders in the 7th. Closer. Miles Sanders in the 8th. Now it's Miles Sanders. Now, this is for 16-team leagues. Understand that if I had pasted in the 12-team rankings, I bet you the split between Debo and Sanders is different. In 16-team leagues, running back is just so much more scarce, and so scarcity, the running backs go way higher in the rankings. But you guys can use this. So it's right on the site under the draft content tab. You paste in, just copy paste in your rankings from the website. You type in your player. You type in the round you're keeping him in. This is going to tell you the value for that little tool that I built that'll answer any questions you guys have. You finally caught a stream. Wonderful. Love to see it here. Um. Oh no, it jumped. I hate when the questions all like jump super far. Oh, it looks like we have a lot of questions. All right. Um. Have you ever seen a guillotine league format? Yeah, that's the one where it's like different sports. That would actually be really fun to do, but I'd get wrecked in hockey. I'd get less wrecked in baseball. I would do very well in basketball. Um, Spoiler, I like basketball more than football. If anyone wanted to know, I wish fantasy basketball was actually like a thing. So I would do perfectly fine in basketball, but I would get. I don't think I could name 3 hockey players. I don't think I could. I would just try and list like Bruins players that played like in 2013. All right. Why would the team with Mike Williams want Brady? Wouldn't they want Herbert? Um, I don't understand. The team that had Herbert did get Mike Williams. Maybe I referenced something that I forget. Asthma. Well, yeah. I guess I didn't scroll far enough, but yeah, asthma. Um, what do I think is the best draft number? Oh, I'm gonna put together. If you guys remember last year, I had a running page going that pulled from the rankings the best pick, and it was basically like pretend you draft from the 1 spot, you would get what 132, 23. Oh, dyslexia there. 123, 24, whatever. 20, 24, 25. It's right here. 124, 25, 48, 49. You guys get what I'm saying? It went through the value. Typically, leagues work out where the higher end picks are better. But it'll be interesting to see. I hope to make that soon. I can't put a timetable on it because I'm very busy with things. But honestly, it's actually going to be fun for me to do. So I'll put that on the docket for this week. But it's going to say the same thing as the rankings. Click your ranking, click your format. I don't know how I want to display it on the site. I almost want to make it one page, but I'll display it in like some sort of table format probably. That's what I'll probably do. I'll probably have like the pick, so like 1 through 6. But it's tough to do because you need a different table for all the league sizes. I'll probably make 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. I'll make 5 different pages. Each page will have like 1 through whatever. And then for each scoring format, it'll pull what the best pick is. I don't have an answer yet, but my guess is that probably one of these mid picks here, because I really like having the option of like, Eckler, Chase, Jefferson. So having this like 4-5 or 5-6 range is really, really nice. Obviously having the first pick to get Jonathan Taylor, one of these picks like first 6 is really, really good. Or the end. I feel like the middle is kind of gross because you're forced to pick, Henry, Adams, Cook. Are they really that much better than like Swift, Mixon, Harris? Not really. So getting 2 of these guys is better. So that's kind of my take right now. But we'll see when that comes. Josh Jacobs plus a 2023 second round pick for ETN. I have to assume this is Dynasty. 2023 is supposed to be a really nice draft class, especially at the running back position. But I don't know enough about it to know what running back you're going to get with that pick. My lean is yes, just because they declined, like I want the ETN side, because they declined the 5th-year option for Jacobs, and they drafted Zamir. There's a chance if Zamir really breaks out that Jacobs is just like gone next year. I mean, I don't think there's a chance ETN's going anywhere, so I'd probably prefer ETN, but look out to the 2023 class. It's going to be really good, especially at running back. Why do people have such confidence in Kenneth Walker? Penny balled out last year. Going to be trailing by a lot this year. Committee, what do you think? No, I agree. I haven't been drafting Kenneth Walker that much. I just think people like the upside. Again, best pure runner in the draft class. Phenomenal running back. He's been a little bit of hurt, but like, again, don't worry about injuries too much right now. They have a long time to recover. I think people are just excited about the upside. Everyone knows Penny can't stay healthy. But if Penny stays healthy and they don't end up getting one of Jimmy Garoppolo or Baker, I think Kenneth Walker will disappoint this season. but I think people are just drafting him for the upside. And he's not going that early. He goes, what, in this range? Where'd he go? Did he go early in this draft? Where did he go? Oh, Kenneth Walker right here. Okay, 8th round. Yeah, that like 8th, 9th round range, that's the ambiguous range. None of these guys are clear-cut starters. None of these guys are slam dunks. And honestly, not many of them are as good as Kenneth Walker is and can be. But I agree with you. If they don't get one of these quarterbacks and they're going to be really bad this season and Penny's there and healthy, I agree with you. We're probably taking Kenneth Walker a little bit too early. I think I do have him ranked overvalued right now. Kind of did thoughts on Bateman before. I think he's like a good pick, not an elite pick. Excuse me. I think he goes a little bit too early. Where'd he go in this one? He's just like never on the board when I'm looking for him. Yeah, early 5th round. I don't know. I'm still not totally convinced they don't sign someone. I'll put it that way. I'm not convinced. But, I mean, this person had Lamar Bateman. That's a totally fine duo to have. Full PPR league, taking Kupp, Jefferson, or Chase works out so good. Yeah, because they're very, very good players. Option on Barkley mid-second. Opinion on Barkley mid-second. Is that where he went? Late second. I'm just going to... The 16-team rankings are kind of on the screen now. So I have Barkley at 17. And I actually feel good about that ranking. I don't know that... Like let's say I have him at 17. Do I want to take him at 17? Well, preferably no. Preferably he's not the highest at 17. But in this late first round range, for people who have the ability to pair Cooper Kupp, Taylor, McCaffrey, Jefferson, Chase with Barkley, you're unlocking a ceiling that, I mean, is scary, because we all know he's been bad. We all know he's got these injuries, but no one in the world is going to be shocked if he ends up as the number 1 running back this season. No one should be. So if you have a chance to draft McCaffrey and Barkley, 2 guys who went like 1-2 clear cut like 2 years ago, a lot of upside. Or you have the chance to get, again, like I said, one of these wide receivers with him. It's just such a good start. But I would prefer not to take him at 80 or at like where I have him at 17. I really prefer doing it in this range. So in that like 20 to 24 range, which I think can happen. I think a lot of people have been burned by him. But I think he'd be really good this season. How do I like or follow the stream? Well, you like the stream by clicking the like button, which everyone should do. Follow the stream. I mean, basically, like the day before, I just post. It's like a video almost, and you can go in and you can see on the channel that there's a stream that's happening every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. So you don't really need to follow it. Just know 8 p.m. every Tuesday night. And you can actually click the alert button, or honestly, when you're on like the subscribe page, you can click the alert button, and it's going to notify you when the stream is going live. So I guess that's the way you do it, the little bell icon. So you could honestly go to a video and click that. But on draft day, like on Tuesday at some point, just go to the page, click, hey, notify me. It's going to send like a little notification to your phone, or maybe your computer. I don't even know how that works. Probably not to your computer though. But to your phone, it'll notify you that it is starting, but it's 8 p.m. every Tuesday. Besides, again, probably July 12th. Probably not. First and second round should not have been that risky. Maybe 3-4. I feel like maybe you're referencing something I don't remember. Should be... Oh, okay. You guys helped him out. Nice. I'm doing a keeper league. Placed 3rd place last year, keeping Taylor. Thoughts on the next pick at 207? Well, I don't know who's going to be available. I don't know who's going to be available, Christopher. I don't. You take the best player in the rankings that's still available. You took Taylor, so you can go with Hero RB. You could just stack another running back. I mean, yeah, take the next available player. There's not too much analysis needed at that spot. Why is Crowder so low for you? Yeah, I need more news on Crowder. They have Shakir, who they really like and they can use in more specialty circumstances. Yeah, Brett did a video. Brett Coleman, I always pronounce his last name wrong. Brett Coleman, whatever. He did a video on Shakir. They can utilize him in like the backfield. They can utilize him in the slot. I think the slot's going to be a rotation for them. I think they're always going to have Diggs and Gabriel Davis on the outside, or just as two wide receiver and two wide receiver sets. And then when they go to a slot wide receiver, which is still going to be plenty, like they're a team that utilizes a lot of wide receivers, they're going to kind of rotate Shakir, they're going to rotate McKenzie, they're going to rotate Crowder. And so I don't think his snap share is going to be super high, and I don't think he's going to produce those numbers that Beasley did. But let's say he does. How valuable was Beasley? I'll actually pull that up as well. I talked about this. I talked about this in a different video. I don't remember which video it was. But, like, look at the fantasy production. Beasley crushed his ADP last season, right? But look at all these weeks. When are you starting him? You didn't start him in week 1. You didn't start him in week 2. You didn't start him in week 3. Maybe you were like, oh, maybe I should start Beasley. He's, like, performing well, and then he gives you 2.6 and 1. So you're not starting him here, and then he goes off. You're probably not starting him here, but maybe some people did. Then maybe you hop back on. He got you 7, 2, 4, 7, 1, like 11, 5, 5, 5. Like, Beasley wasn't that good. It's just that, you know, if you look at the season-long numbers, he technically outperformed his ADP, but you were never actually starting him. So even if he's as good as Beasley, which he can be, but if they have all these other weapons, I don't think he's going to be much better than Beasley. I don't know. I just don't like him. I think he's a good player. I used to like him a lot. What's your highest expected placement? I don't know what that means. So if you, Jacob Fries, I don't know what that means. So, and I'm to the point where you guys saw, yeah, to the point where you guys saw the tragic pick there. Who do you think is most likely to come out as a running back 1, wide receiver 1 this season that isn't being drafted as 1? Do you think will come out as a running back 1 or wide receiver 1 that's not being drafted as 1? Okay. So we'll just throw out the first 2 rounds. Watch Thursday's video for my take on Williams, Pittman, Deontay. So I'll hold those off on reservations, hold those off there. I think Cortland Sutton could be your answer there. I do actually think Marquise Brown could be an answer there. Terry McLaurin, DK Metcalf if they trade for someone. Mooney could put together a really nice season as like the clear alpha there. Technically Juju, honestly, if everything goes right. Adam Thielen if everything went right. Devonta Smith, it's thin, but that's possible. Michael Thomas, technically, he's, you know, had a season where he was like the best wide receiver ever. So that's possible. Everyone else is getting a little bit thin. Theoretically, Christian Watson, if he hits his ceiling. Devonta Parker, if he hits like the perfect ceiling. St. Patrick, if there are injuries. Kenny Golladay, if he hits his ceiling. Also Tony. Everyone else, I mean, they need a lot to go right for them to end up as a 1. But those are kind of the names that stick out to me. Oh, running back 2. I would say top 3 rounds I'll throw out. So starting the 4th round, Zeke, Etienne, Montgomery, Clyde. Not many others. Technically, Spiller, if you had an Eckler injury in like week 1, that was like a torn ACL or something like that. Same thing with Darrell Williams. If you have like a torn ACL from James Conner, that's possible. But that kind of speaks to why after that, it's like your Zamir Whites and your pure handcuffs. That speaks to why you attack running back early in a lot of redraft leagues, especially because look at all the wide receivers I mentioned kind of throughout the draft, different things that can happen. And then I listed off like 4th and 5th rounders, and I was like, because basically everyone that's going to be good is going right around here. And if these guys fail, these guys can step up, but they're not going to compete with these upper end options. Oh, God, this is a big one. Waddle and Madison, or a 2023 first, second, and 206. Does that mean that I'm assuming that means 206 this season? Okay. Like I said, 2023 class is really good. So getting a first and second there. That comes down to your team. Are you competing this season? If you have no chance of winning the season, or you're like the 6th or 7th best team, I would take the first, the second, and a second rounder this season over Waddle and Madison. If you think that Waddle and Madison can like really elevate your team, which honestly they probably can't, but if you think that can like do the championship, I'd probably for that side. But I think more forward-thinking managers will take the picks there. How do you rank CEH, Sanders, and Patterson 1 through 3, half and he want half and full PPR? My God. Who are the running backs? Clyde, Miles, Sanders, and Pat. Well, Patterson's definitely last. I'm pretty sure it's Sanders in any format. Yeah, Sanders, Clyde, and then Patterson in any format. That's how I'd rank them. Taysom Hill's going to be used as a human battering ram. Yeah, well, we'll see. I'll be fine being proved wrong on that one. Plan on doing a top quarterback breakdown this year. Oh, do you mean? Yeah, probably. I would assume I would need suggestions. I don't really know. Yeah, I'm going to pick 3 quarterbacks that are going in this range right here, but I want to pick 3 quarterbacks that are going to be clustered together. So does that mean I'm going like Hurts, Wilson, Dak? Would that be a good breakdown? Would you want to see like Kyler, Burrow, Hurts? Would you want to see Herbert, Mahomes, Allen with like Lamar? I don't really know what the best breakdown is. So those are the things you guys got to suggest in the breakdown video. So on the Thursdays, go in, suggest them. Whatever gets upvoted the most, I'm going to like do those ones. So yeah, I'm going to do a high-end quarterback one. Cool running back. Yeah, we got the Cook brothers. I did not do that intentionally, but it's honestly not a bad duo. You got your stud and you got your pass catching back. I've seen people move on with one tight end with Kelsey Andrews last year. Okay, well, yeah, I guess for this one, move on. We need to move on for this draft. Yeah, it's possible. Technically, all you need to advance is the one tight end. It's a risky build. I kind of like it. I kind of like the idea of doing it. One question I have, is there a cap to positions on Underdog? I don't think there is. I wonder how it would work out. Maybe we should try this sometime. Okay, next Underdog stream that I end up getting a Kelsey or an Andrews build, let's try that out. Because I'd be interested. If you went 4 running backs, 1 tight end, 2 quarterback, that leaves you with 11 wide receivers, I wonder how good of a build that could be. And could that be something like if you can advance and you can have like a really good run with tight end, like if Andrews and Kelsey do really, really well, and you do Best Ball Mania 3, I'm doing that. I'm testing that out. Because like, yeah, if you can do the advancement, you're going to have the 0 in 1 week. But if they can have a dominant season, they can advance, and you can string together 11 wide, like, is that legal? I wonder if there's a cap. That would be sick. If you could do 11 wide receivers, you would take probably a quarterback early, you would take these running backs early, and you would just go God mode on wide receivers and just stack them up. I want to try it. I hope you can. Any thoughts on my team as the 12th pick? Got auto pick Swift instead of CD because the site crashed. Yeah, it happens sometimes. So you went with a Detroit Lions stack. I like Detroit Lions stack, so I might like this. Okay. Last team. Joe Mixon, DeAndre Swift. Beautiful. At my pick, those were like 2 guys I was considering. So absolutely love that start. DJ Moore, love it. Great talent. You got nice value on Josh Allen here. Again, I was considering Josh Allen here, so love that as well. I love Adam Thielen. I may have had to have gone with Adam Thielen at that Godwin pick, so that's fine. Love Monter St. Brown. So you have started off first 6 rounds with 6 players I love. This is a really, really good start. Dawson Knox to go with Josh Allen. Beautiful. Patterson, I don't have a final take on Patterson. My guess is I would have liked your team a little bit more if you had gone with someone else there, but I'm fine with it. Jameson Williams, did you end up getting? You got Jared Goff. Nice. No, I like this team a lot. You handcuffed Swift, which I'm totally fine with. I don't know that I would do that. I think, if you want to win this league, Swift's got to have a good year. And if Swift's having a really good year, then you probably want a different pick than Jamal. Boy, you got Mixon. I would say if you start off running back, do a maximum of 5. I don't think you needed that 6 running back. So again, it comes down to Patterson. I think if you kept everything else the same, change Patterson. I know you probably didn't like your options, but change Patterson to like Christian Kirk or Tyler Lockett or Tony, like something like that. Grab that extra. I don't want to do that. Don't do that. I think instead of the P. Ryan pick, you could have gone with another tight end at that spot. Like I said, especially with like tight end in the 8th, I think 3 tight ends is a better build for you. I think these 2 running backs, I don't like handcuffing on Underdog. You're making these 2 picks. If these late picks are working out, it means your first 2 didn't work. If your first 2 didn't work, someone beat you here. Someone beat you. So that's my advice. Maybe I would say, just this one instead of tight end. But yeah, grab an Odell's late is fine. Fuller's fine. One thing I'll say with that is you took 2 people who aren't on a team and one who's definitely not starting the season. So you are relying very heavily, 3rd player that's not starting the season. So you're relying very heavily early in the year, first month of the season, on Corey Davis, Jahan Dotson, St. Brown, Thielen, and more. And that is totally fine. Those are really good wide receivers, and they can get the job done. But remember, you have to start 3 every week. So you're locked into starting like more Thielen, Brown. One of them might have a down week, and maybe you have to bring in like Dotson or Davis. It's like you might start off slow at the wide receiver position. So it hurts you taking these guys, but I guess if you can survive that, maybe later on it'll be better for you. But overall, I really like the team. It's a lot of players I really like. So that was a good build. No, you need your handcuff last pick. No, I don't like it. I don't like drafting handcuffs. Oh wait, that wasn't you that said the handcuff thing. I don't think. It's kind of hard to see the screen there. Oh no. I scroll too much with the live chat. Okay. Accidentally had Marvin Jones queued ahead of Williams. I was so happy to see until he got sniped pooping before me by yours. Yeah. I would prefer him too. What did I do before YouTube? Walgreens photo specialist. That's what I was. Well, actually, I was that while doing. I did both at the same time. But that was while I was in school. So I did undergrad, first 4 years, accounting and finance. Miserable, but I was good at it, That's what basically like people go into business, they're good at it. They do accounting and finance because that's the best duo. You can easily do auditing, which I would have been fine in, but it would have been boring. You do auditing, you do tax work, or you do something else. Then school had a program, master's degree in data science and analytics. That's where I learned, good at the Excel stuff. I don't do Excel as much. It's more like we learned like Python, R, like the coding languages. That's where all like that research was in the off season, was all in Python. But yeah, you kind of just learn Excel by doing Excel. Nothing that I have in these things are like incredible. There's a lot of stuff I don't know in Excel, and there's a lot of stuff you shouldn't do in Excel. You should be doing in coding languages, but I understand they're like hard to learn. But yeah, that's what I did. Basically, I decided, senior year, I feel like I decided senior year, I was like, auditing is the worst. And I was signing up for those like awful internships and stuff. And I got all these callbacks and I was like, I don't want to call you guys back. So I didn't. And I was like, I'm just going to stay in school for another year, see if this like business can take off. Did that for a year. And then it was talking to ESPN. It was talking to Numberfire, FanDuel, doing interviews with them. And I was like, I don't really want to work for these companies either. So I worked for myself. That's basically how the trajectory kind of worked for me. I just didn't want to work for someone else. I got, there was another company that wanted to buy the football model. They were based in DC. That was a consideration one. That was like $150,000 or something like that. But would have had to relocate to DC, which I did not want to do. The FanDuel one would have had to relocate to New York City. Did not want to do. I was like, I'm going to stay at home. So I'm going to work from home. So much prefer doing that. But that is the career path there. Prayers for the Celtics. Game 6. I feel good about Game 6. I feel bad about Game 7. I do think they're going to win this game, but I think they just blew it. I think they had the series won in Game 4. I think you win that game, the series is over. There was no way they were losing the series at that point. Losing that game in the way they did, which was just gifting the Warriors the win. Coming out scared in Game 5, they just played awful. Like, they didn't deserve to win that game at all. Now, they got hot. They hit like 8 threes in a row, but they missed like 13 in a row to start the game. They were pathetic. They had a chance to win it at the end, to really steal that win. They've just played so bad. They shouldn't have won Game 1. Like, the Warriors should have won the NBA Finals at this point. Now, the Celtics are the better team. I think that like most people can agree with that, but they haven't been the better team in this series. Golden State has deserved to win this series. But under normal circumstances, when both teams are playing on average, the Celtics win probably 60-65% of the time. It's just they're playing so bad. Tatum is awful. He's been playing so bad. Stop driving. Tatum drives his kicks. Brown's driving kicks. Like, I would rather Brown be driving. Like, Tatum is just draining threes over guys. He's doing really well in the threes, but when he drives, he makes these awful decisions. And he's been so bad from 2. It's infuriating to watch. I think Luke Cornett has the same number of points in the final 5 minutes of every game in the finals as Tatum. That's pathetic. How do you have the same amount of points through 5 games of the finals as Luke Cornett? Oh, Tatum. Very frustrating. He's still the future of the franchise. He's still a superstar, but he's very frustrating. So, yeah, good luck to the Celtics in Game 6. I do, again, think they're going to win that game. I don't think they'd win Game 7, though. Thoughts on Lazard? I think we just need more news on the Packers' whole situation. I think Lazard's the most likely to be the one, especially because of how much Rodgers likes him and trusts him. But we just need more news from there. I think you meant Evans earlier. Oh, was that in reference to the Mike Williams thing? Okay, I must have said, I always mix that up. When I was looking for here, and I was like, do any of these guys have Mike Williams? Yes, I meant Mike Evans, because I wanted, if one of these teams had Mike Evans, then it's like they might actually take Brady, and maybe my plan wouldn't work. I meant Evans. Apologies for that. Don't feel obligated to answer the work question. Well, I did, so. Drafted 2 Underdog teams yesterday. Got 7th pick in both. Took Henry, Kamara in one, Eckler, Jones in the other. Which pair do you like more? I think Henry, Kamara has more upside because Henry could go God mode and 23 points per game. Kamara, we've already seen him be fantastic. So you could have 2 top 5 running backs there, and that would be fantastic. I think the ceiling on Eckler and Jones, that combination, is a little bit less. So I think I prefer Henry and Kamara, but I love both. I love both starts. I love that start also because you can end up taking just 4 running backs, hammer out wide receiver, even if you abandon it for a while. Like, I just love those 2-4-10-2 builds. I just love those so much. Notification goes to your phone, a window on the website when you log in. Yeah, but I think most people would just get it to their phone. Yeah, the Zach Wilson incident was very sad. Equinemius St. Brown breakout season. Hey, I mean, it's got to happen at some point, right? Doesn't actually have to happen at some point. Hero tight end strategy kind of makes me think that one tight end, if you get them, is better than 2 tight ends, but still worse than 3. So I guess I don't fully understand what the comment was saying, but I guess the thought is, doing the one tight end. I'm very intrigued. I want to post it. Okay. I want it to happen. I'm going to do, I have to do a few more of those Underdog cardio runs. I think I'm actually doing one tomorrow. I keep posting those on Twitter. If I get an early 2nd round pick, I'm drafting Kelsey or Andrews, and I'm doing it. I'm going to test out the early pick there. Are we doing another draft? No, I've decided, unless I'm really feeling it one day, I can't do 2 drafts, because then I don't end up getting to these picks. I don't end up getting to all these questions you guys are asking. I feel like that's a big part of these videos. And also, I have to breathe the next day. Like I have to record a video every single day. So like my throat needs to be able to function for recording tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm gonna record the I actually have to write it for no. Yeah, I have to edit the Thursday video, but I have to write, record, and edit the Friday video tomorrow. So I need to be able to talk during that. And if I do all these drafts, I end up absolutely toast. So one draft during these live streams. When we get later on in the season, maybe I'll have you guys vote. Would you rather me answer every question or do 2 drafts? But for right now, I think answering every question is better. Yeah. Yeah. No, I understand the Fidel Castro over here. I understand that take. I guess my thinking is this is only a 12-team draft, and I don't need to risk it. Like it's a risky strategy. Going with one tight end is obviously risky. So I would implement that more in a large field tournament, not a 12-team draft. Like you don't need to risk it in this draft. Just do kind of what numbers say, and numbers say 3 tight ends is really, really solid. You're gonna have really good production. If it ends up happening where there's like multiple hits, you still have that tight end spot, so it's still good to do. Um, um, where would be my favorite landing spot for Will Fuller? I mean, Green Bay, KC, like obviously those types of teams. Um, I'm intrigued if he goes to Baltimore because he'd step in and have like a prominent role. Um, I don't know. Let's look at like just random like Chicago, but I think I'd be most excited about Green Bay and Kansas City, though Kansas City's not going to do it. They have too many players right now. Um, yeah, Green Bay. I want him to go to Green Bay. Dallas, if they think that Gallup's going to take a while to recover and they're not like 100% sold on their rookie Tolbert, that would be interesting. I just think he's got to go somewhere. He's got to go somewhere. He's too talented not to be on a roster right now. Is there precedent coming back from down 1-3 NBA Finals? No. There absolutely is. I just think in this series, had they won that game, I think it would have been extraordinarily unlikely that they would have come back. They still absolutely could have, but I think that more sets up an easy loss in game 5. Like if they win game 4, they're getting smoked in game 5, but I think it sets up a game 6. If this was a closeout game and they were up 3-2, I don't think the Celtics lose this game. Now, again, I don't think the Celtics lose this game down 3-2. If they were up 3-2, I think it's over. I think they win that game. I just don't think game 7. I think they lost it in losing those games. Can't stand the Celtics. What do you hate about Al Horford? I've never heard of a human being not liking Al Horford. Oh, you're a Bucks fan? So because he dunked on Giannis? Al Horford is like the nicest guy in the world. He doesn't trash talk. He doesn't flop. I get people hating Marcus Smart. It's why my least favorite player in the league is Kyle Lowry. Well, I hate Grayson Allen. So Grayson Allen I hate. Kyle Lowry I hate. I just hate those types of players. I love Smart because he's a Celtic, but if I was rooting for any other team, Marcus Smart would be my least favorite player in the NBA by 6.5 miles. I couldn't stand him, but I like him because he tries his best. Like he is not physically gifted. He is a bad shooter. He shouldn't be good at basketball, but he tries his absolute hardest every game. Dude has like a high ankle sprain right now, and he's still out there playing as much as he can. I just like his like passion in the game. But Al Horford, you can't not like Al Horford. He's good. He's a good guy. Ravens make sense for a full question mark. It's more just because like there's such clear volume. After Bateman, they have no one that's talented. Put Will Fuller in there. He would step right into Marquise Brown's role, which, hey, Marquise Brown should have had a way better season than he did last year, just dropping every single pass that went to him. Maybe Will Fuller could be like a really, really good in that situation. Julio to Baltimore. Yeah, if Julio went to Baltimore, I'd like Julio. But I don't know how much I trust Julio at this point, but obviously you'd like him. He'd start going in probably like the 10th or 11th round, I would guess. Dallas could be fun. Yeah, Stephen A. Yeah, don't listen to Stephen A. Smith. I hate all those talk shows. They're so bad. It like I know those talk shows are for views, therefore we need an argument, but their arguments are so bad. They're not researched. Half the times they say things that just simply aren't true. I think it was Stephen A. One of them was talking about um like Thomas Bryant when he was out for like the whole season. They were talking about how like he'd been like playing bad and stuff, and it's like they just like say things backed up by absolutely no stats. But I understand it's because they have to do it every day and they have to take both sides. They can't both go out there and be like, we both agree that this is the best. Like they have to argue, and one of them has just like a losing battle sometimes. But I hate them so much. It's just so bad. Not the dunk. He randomly went off for 30 seconds against the Bucks. He's like an old school basketball player. No, he is. The dude's like 100 years old out there like limping across the court. He shouldn't be playing as many minutes as he is. And he had to play way more minutes when Rob Williams, I mean, obviously Rob Williams is still significantly injured. Probably requires surgery after the season. But when he was only allowed to play 15, 20 minutes a game, I mean, he had to be out there every 2 seconds because it's like, I mean, you're going to throw out there Tice. I mean, Tice is the worst basketball player in like the history of the NBA. And so if you're relying on Daniel Tice in the finals or in the playoff game, like you deserve to lose that series. And we saw that happen. As soon as they put Tice in, every single possession was a score for the other team. And so Al had to play significant minutes. And so it is like incredible how he's been able to actually like go out there and still play at his age and play at a really high level. So yeah. What pick are you? Well, maybe I should go over the team one last time. We're probably going to get out here at the at the end of this. But we were Enzilak right here. Final roster for the man who just tuned in. Dalvin Cook. This was looked up our running backs. Dalvin Cook waited until the 10th round to take our second running back. James Cook, Stevenson, Darrell Williams, James Robinson. I like that grouping. Obviously, it's probably our weakest spot. Tight end, Mark Andrews with Hooper and Logan Thomas. We're going to be rock solid at tight end all year. Hammered out wide receivers, Sutton, Judy, Godwin, Elijah Moore, Russell Gage, Garrett Wilson, Chark, David Bell. And then we had Tom Brady and a blunder. We had him queued up. We didn't want to take him. We wanted to take Isaiah Spiller here. We would have taken him at 160 we said for Zach Wilson. But hey, we got the stacks. We got the Zach Wilson, Elijah Moore, and Garrett Wilson stack, along with a Brady, Godwin, and Russell Gage stack. So hey, not too bad. All right, guys. Tomorrow, tune in. Wednesday videos are always strategy. RB0 strategy will be live tomorrow, 8 a.m. Eastern. Check that one out. It's a very highly requested video every season. I actually moved it. It was going to be a different video. I wanted to do it now. So that'll be up tomorrow. Thursday is going to be Mike Williams versus Pittman versus Deontay Johnson. I already recorded it. I already know who the winner is. I already know the rankings. But I have to edit that tomorrow, and that'll be posted on Thursday. Friday is going to be big name players to avoid before Saturday. Look back at the week. Look at ADPs. See who's changing. We'll see if Mike Williams is entering like the first round now because he seems to go up half round every single week. All right. So that'll do it, guys. My goodness. Let's just end this video. Drop a like if you're still here. Appreciate you guys still being here. Still 70 total concurrent viewers. I don't know how we're still at that many. Appreciate it. Sign up for Underdog if you haven't already. Promo code FFA. You can get a free $100 deposit if you do $100, but up to $100 they'll match everything. Do that. Sign up for the website if you want the rankings. That, my friends, is the end of this one. Hope you all did enjoy. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and of course, thanks for watching.